Can you guess the top four players on the Buffalo Bills wide receiver room that left the team last season? It has been a tremendous offseason with so many changes to that wide receiver room and so many additions that the Bills have made. Hello, everyone. My name is Brett McDurphy with the Go Bills podcast. And today on our player analysis series, we're going to discuss the wide receiver room a little bit more, but we are going to discuss a player that's going to play an important depth role for the Buffalo Bills and what he can do on special teams for the Bills this season. Now, as you know, training camp has begun for the team, and we will talk about a ton of players on our player analysis series. The first player that we have talked about was a wide receiver, and now we're on our 12th player overall. If you're new to this series, don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, as well as YouTube. And also, don't forget that we have our website, gobillspodcast.com. Click on over to the website where you can find all of our upcoming shows throughout the week. Now, with that being said, this player is a former second-round pick by the Steelers, and he has come over to the Bills from a AFC East rival. Can you guess who this player is? We will talk about him as our next player on our player analysis series presented by gobillspodcast.com. We will talk about him right after we hit our intro. What is up, Bills Mafia? Welcome back to another edition of Player Analysis presented by gobillspodcast.com. Today, we are going to discuss a player on our Player Analysis series that has had a promising career with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but has taken a downfall since he has left the team. He has played for a few teams in the Chicago Bears as well as the Miami Dolphins, and he comes to the Bills as more of a depth piece. And it is to be determined if he will make the roster, but he does have so much upside. And that's what I love about this series that we have talked about. We've mentioned Mac Hollins as well as Marquez Valdes-Scantling. We also targeted Curtis Samuel and Keon Coleman, but we have not gotten into the next player on our list that is new to the team this year as the Bills transitioned from so many different wide receivers that were on the roster last season to the new players on the roster, and we will finish it out with our final wide receiver on our list. This wide receiver is none other than Chase Claypool, who was drafted in 2020 by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, I do see you guys in the comments, and I will get to these comments, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you jumping in. Red, White, and Bill saying Claypool, John Robert, Chase Claypool as well. Weston coming into the chat saying, Brett, I do appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to smash a like on this video as well, as it helps us on YouTube and on Facebook. John Robert coming in saying he now plays wide receiver in special teams, and he is only 26 years old. That is correct. Beating me to it, John Robert. You need to be on the show and help me out a little bit, buddy. So let's get to know Chase Claypool. He was drafted in 2020, 49th overall by the Pittsburgh Steelers. He also came in the college rankings from Notre Dame, where he played as a true freshman and had 150 receptions overall in his career for about 2,200 yards, 19 touchdowns in his college career. Last season with the Miami Dolphins, he did not play a lot, but that's in terms of who was ahead of him and when he was picked up by the team. He was picked up late in the season by the Dolphins, only playing 4.64% of the offensive snaps. He also played a lot on special teams, which is where he could be a factor for the Buffalo Bills this season. He's only 25 years old, height of 6'4", 238 pounds. He had 8 receptions for 77 yards and 1 touchdown last season. Some of the pros and cons for him are that he's a physical, big body receiver that you will see in some of the videos that we will feature later on. He's enticing in combination of length, speed, and strength. He's also very tough, high character guy, loves to play special teams, and also has very strong hands. And as I mentioned to begin the show, guys, I mentioned that the Bills had so many different wide receivers that left the team last season. And those receivers were none other than Stefon Diggs, Gabe Davis, as well as Trent Sherfield and Deonte Harty. So the Bills are revamping this wide receiver room, and they have Keon Coleman, Curtis Samuel, as well as Mac Hollins, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and now Chase Claypool adding into the room with Khalil Shakir in the mix as well. So a lot of new faces in that wide receiver room. Probably 5 will make the team. Maybe 4 of them will, as Chase Claypool is kind of on the outside looking in right now in terms of training camp goes. But he has had such a good start to the time that he's been with the Bills, as he had a good spring and he's been healthy. He has had a couple of injury scares, but he has been on the field every time during training camp and every day of training camp, as well as every day of mini camp for the team in OTAs. So it'll be to be determined on whether he makes the roster or not. He also has strong hands, as I mentioned. His salary cap, only $1.1 million in 2024. That's very low for a player that has had a 1,000-yard season under his belt. Some of his cons are that he struggles against yak yardage, which is yards after the catch. His acceleration off breaks is very poor. His linear speed is not very good as well. Lateral agility is another issue. He has big drops in games. Some of the biggest plays that he has are ones that he drops. He doesn't look to advance the ball after the catch, which is something that we have talked about previously. I do want to get to some of the comments here from John Robert. As he mentions, Josh Allen is the best quarterback he has played for. I agree with that. But Claypool has also played with another quarterback that's a big-time gunslinger, so he understands that his game may have taken a step down because he played for Mason Rudolph and Mitchell Trubisky, as well as a couple of other guys in Devin Hodges that played for the Steelers. And then going into the Bears didn't really have a good quarterback over the last couple of seasons, even though they did have Justin Fields. Fields is kind of that inaccurate quarterback that doesn't get the ball into the right spots. And when you have a guy like Josh Allen who can put the ball in so many different positions, he is going to take a step up, especially with all the guys that are around him, the big players in Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox, Keon Coleman, Curtis Samuel as well, that are all going to be around him. And playing on a playoff team that has high expectations is only going to take his level to the next step. So I think that he's going to have a great year if he does play for the Buffalo Bills this season. And he does have, like I mentioned, that 1,000-yard season under his belt as well. John Roberts saying Claypool now has a toe injury and is listed as day-to-day. I do expect him to be out there tomorrow as well. John Robert also mentioning that Sean McDermott said in his press conference, I appreciate you for giving us that update on him. I have not had a chance to see what happened in training camp today. I do know that there has been 2 fights overall in terms of the whole entire training camp, and I know my buddy on the show, Sean Kula, has won that bet that we had on Nickel City Mafia, so I owe him a little bit of something. I don't know what that's going to be yet, but bragging rights are to him. But let's go over to the video room, guys. Let's watch some film on what Chase Claypool will bring to the Buffalo Bills this season. And I do want to get to the first one that we will see here, which is going to be a deep play that he has. And watch this throw that was made and what Chase Claypool does on this play. Check out Big Ben Roethlisberger in his final season, making that big throw there to Chase Claypool inside the pretty much I would say the 10 yard line, maybe 5 yard line on that play. Check out what Claypool does there. I think it's an excellent throw by Big Ben, especially at the end of his career. Let's watch it one more time, guys. Ben Roethlisberger rifling that ball right to where Chase Claypool wants it. And that's the difference between an experienced quarterback that's been there, done that in terms of Ben Roethlisberger versus Mason Rudolph and even Mitchell Trubisky, who can't really throw the ball into the right spots at times, and they're inaccurate. I do see you guys in the comments. John Robert coming in saying, I think Claypool will make the 53-man roster. I do too, buddy. But let's go back to the film room, guys. Second video that we will watch is going to be another deep throw from Ben Roethlisberger, I believe, on this play. If I am wrong, I will correct myself as the video begins. So let's watch this play from Claypool and what he does on this play. It is from Ben Roethlisberger. Again, another big throw into a good spot there. Deep throw in that situation. Check it out again. Awesome throw there by Roethlisberger. The next play that we will feature is going to be a toe drag swag play against the Giants. Check out this throw into the catch by Chase Claypool. Roethlisberger dropping back, throwing it right into a small window there. And watch the feet by Chase Claypool on this play. I want to show it one more time as Roethlisberger drops back. Check out the window and how he goes up and high points the ball on that play, securing it for a nice first down for the Steelers on that play. Let's watch the next play here and what Claypool does. This is a touchdown catch that he has on this play. This is Roethlisberger getting rifled on that play. Claypool getting some separation there and securing the touchdown. Watch the breakaway speed on that play. I want to show it one more time. As he makes the catch, watch the breakaway speed here from Claypool right here and getting open and scoring that touchdown. Excellent throw from Ben Roethlisberger, putting it right where Claypool can catch it and gets the yards after the catch on that play. The next play that we will feature is going to be a 50-50 ball from Claypool to Claypool, and watch what he does on this play. Nice little 50-50 ball on the bottom of the screen here. Check out how Claypool goes and makes that catch using his big body and big frame to make that catch. I will show it one more time. Bottom of the screen here, Claypool right here using his body against that cornerback to secure the catch here. Excellent throw, excellent back shoulder throw from Ben Roethlisberger on that play to make the 50-50 ball for Claypool to come up with. The next play that we are going to show you, Cases, this one is a nice high point. Watch what he does right here. This is excellent high point on this play from Claypool. Watch it one more time. Roethlisberger dropping back on this play. Nice little throw here, right into a tough window there. That's two defenders that are right there that could make a play, and Roethlisberger just rifles it right in there to make sure that Claypool gets the touchdown for the Steelers. Let's watch this final play, and this is against the Baltimore Ravens. Watch this this jump ball that comes down to Claypool, and watch what he does on this play. Up top, on the top of the screen there, look at that throw there. This one actually was not against the Ravens. It was against the Vikings. I apologize. So watch this throw right here. Back shoulder throw, only where Claypool can secure it. I love that throw. And this is something that Josh Allen can do so many times, and that he can put the ball in the right situation for Claypool. So what are you going to get from Claypool in terms of numbers? He's mostly going to play on special teams. That's where I think his role will be most of the season. But as a reserve player who has so much experience out there in terms of being with so many other teams, look at where he's been. Since 2020 to now, he's been in the NFL for 4 seasons as a reserve player. I think that would be great for the Buffalo Bills to bring. And let's look at his numbers in terms of what he did to start his career. He has had, like I mentioned, he had a 1,000-yard season. Last season, only having 77 yards with the Miami Dolphins. But go back to his first couple of seasons. He had 876 73 yards in Pittsburgh his first year, 860 his second year. But his first season, he had 9 touchdowns. Second season, the numbers dwindled due to the quarterback issues that they had in Pittsburgh. Then he went over to Chicago, and Chicago has been, in no opinion of my own, they've been a mess. Let's put it that way, what they have done. And I think that he took a toll based off of playing with so many poor quarterbacks. That's why he's going to the Bills and trying to get with an elite quarterback again. And I imagine his numbers are going to go up. 2022, 311 yards. Again, numbers dwindling down. Only 50 targets that season. In 2022 with the Chicago Bears, he only had 29 targets. In 2023, 14 targets with the Bears, and then he was released and moved over to the Miami Dolphins, where he had 7 targets for only 77 yards. So bad numbers from him there. But I do think that Claypool can get back to the same form that he was at, and that's why I believe he will be a strong candidate to making the roster. I do see you, Nickel City Mafia, coming into the chat saying, with Claypool's injuries in camp, I'm not sure if he makes the team. It would be tough, but we'll see, guys. Also, John Robert saying in the chat, he is also used to zip on a pass because of Big Ben, so he fits right in with Josh Allen. That is true. Red, White, and Bill saying, true, Mike, that would stink. Yeah, absolutely agree with that. I do want to get to some injury reports from the Buffalo Bills. Mike Edwards is listed as week to week with the Bills. The safety this time is listed as week to week. He did miss most of the spring, as he is week to week now. It is going to be pretty much harder for him to get the starting role for the Bills. I do expect Cole Bishop to get that role as a starting safety, especially with the injuries that are reported. A few other injuries that we do have are that we have a couple of injuries to, some veteran players, but I do expect the team to be healthy, and we will see what goes on later in training camp. We had some veteran rest days from some guys that needed it, but don't be surprised if the Bills are going to give guys a little bit of rest as time goes on. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us on all social media platforms. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter, as well as Threads. Also, don't forget that you can find us on our website, gobillspodcast.com, where you can click on over and find all of our upcoming shows throughout the off season on that website. Just click on the 2023 podcast schedule, 2024 podcast schedule. I don't even know what year we're on, guys. I apologize. But you can find all of our upcoming shows there on our website. John Robert coming into the chat saying, who will take Ty Johnson's place? I do expect that to be probably a veteran player if he does miss a lot of time. But I think that he won't miss that much time, but that's to be determined. Maybe a guy like Latavius Murray, if that was the case, I could see them re-signing him just because he has experience with the offense. But that could very well happen. He injured his hamstring in training camp. That is correct. But I do think that he will be day-to-day, and he'll be fine with that injury as well. But we will have another show tomorrow evening around 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So keep your notifications open on YouTube as well as on Instagram and Facebook so that you can find out when we are going live. Also, don't forget to click on over to the Nickel City Mafia and Red, White, and Bills channels. Great YouTubers that are doing excellent things in the world of Bills Mafia. Click on over to their shows so that you can see myself, Sean, Mike, Jake on the channels as well. And you can be notified every time that we are going live on their channels as well. This has been the Go Bills podcast. We will see you next time for another edition of Player Analysis presented by GoBillsPodcast.com. Until then, Go Bills.